watching along with us is Michael Jaafar. He's Big Case Mike on a Friday, and this is a bizarre one. Boy, it started this week, and it was full of drama from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's not going to claim ineffective assistance of counsel. What he should be claiming is ineffective assistance of medical treatment and medical ineffective DNA, because this person is a bad dude. He's got some serious problems with himself. I agreed with pretty much everything that the daughter said. The one thing that she said that really struck me was, please sentence him to life in order to protect us. I do believe her that they fear for their lives. This guy is a bad character. He's terrible. He's awful. He's everything bad and nothing nice. And you know, when I was watching the sentence when he was talking in the previous hour, I thought to myself, was there some sort of a delay? Because he kept talking over everybody. But no, there wasn't a delay. He just got problems. I've always long since said, Ted, that I think we overdo it in our society with sentences by throwing people away for 1 million years. But this is the one exception where I think a person should be thrown away for jail for 1 million years. This is the exception. Even I think that this person should go to jail forever and ever and ever. And like you said, I mean, it's not like when he's up for parole when he's 77 years old, he's just going to be granted it. He's probably going to flop at least. He'll never see the outside of a jail cell unless he lives till over 100 years, right? So he's effectively going to jail for the rest of his life. Can you imagine him in front of the parole board, by the way, and talking over them and pointing his fingers at them and telling them how bad they are? I mean, they're not going to. I've seen Boy Scouts in front of parole boards, Boy Scouts. I've seen people get in there and just absolutely just, they bring a tear to your eye. They have victims in their favor of getting parole, and they still don't get parole, right? I don't think Toby Madden is going to get parole. I think he's going to die in a jail cell. He'll leave the jail when he's in a casket, but I think that would be when he would leave the jail cell.
Yeah, this was a long process for the family in terms of all of the delays, because he was writing letters from jail, he was firing his attorneys. It dragged this all out. But I felt like, and Michael, you tell me if you felt the same, he did want to at least be seen in front of his family as a good father. So Michaela Madden getting up there and saying he only came into our lives to take. He was not a good father. He did nothing that was worth anything. That seemed to be something that actually got to him.
Yeah, absolutely, because he wasn't high on meth when he was in the court, when he was hearing her say that. Whereas it literally fits. What she said fits with a with an addict, right? It fits. You come into people's lives to take. You lie, you cheat, you steal, you promise, you give false promises, and then once you have the $20 bill in your hand, you leave and you don't come back for another 2 weeks until you're done with the 20 bucks. You need another 20 bucks, right? So this is a family that was just simply fed up with being used. And then look at the payoff after years and years and decades of mental abuse by him. Look at the payoff. To have him stab his girlfriend 55 times. Again, this is not a person who was acting out of anger or rage or anything else. This is an absolute creature of just the worst rung of society, right? So yeah, I sympathize with her. I fully believe everything that she said, and it makes sense, and it all fits. There's no human tragedy element, and there's no Shakespearean tragedy. This is just an addict acting like an addict.
As the daughter said that her mother tried to fix him. And you hear that all the time. It's just, he was, to Michael's point, unfixable, and now he has landed himself a spot in the Ohio Corrections facilities.
She says two things.
All right, let's bring in National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar to just react to what we've seen so far in these closing arguments. Michael, I think that part right there where she is admitting to police what she's done actually helps the defense if they're going to try and say that she had a mental break.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the medical examiner that testified that she shot him 4 times and all 4 shots came through his back and out of his front. I think that, to me, that sealed it for me. For me, she was guilty at that point. Obviously, I'm going to wait to see how the defense lays out their closing argument. But I agree with you that obviously the video can be argued by the defense counsel that she was in shock. But at the end of the day, this prosecutor and his closing argument and the way he's laid it out and the way he's structured it, it's impressing me. To me, at this point, before I hear what the defense says, to me as a juror, she's guilty. Obviously, I've been swayed by stellar closing arguments, but the fact that the police were called to the house, the way that the prosecutor laid it out, that she was not even cooperating with the deputy, not answering his questions, whereas Colin was actually being very jovial, and playing with his kid, and her not getting her way. I mean, he distilled it for me. He put me right in her state of mind as a juror, and exactly what she was doing. He has painted her out to me as a narcissist who wanted to have her way, and she just literally shot him 4 times in the back, right? So to me, I don't think you can recover from that as a defense. But I've been wrong before, and some defense attorneys have put together some pretty compelling closing arguments, and they've rationalized the evidence in a certain way, and they said, here's what we've seen, and here's how I think you should look at it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the defense closing argument is going to be. But for now, I'm convinced that she is guilty of murder.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are. We'll watch it all. Again, the reminder, the jury does have this case already. They've been at it just about 15 minutes. Enough